We dance as the city roars. Tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry icy's on the mic, energy, it's good delight. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more. Tune it in and feel the thrill. Strawberry ice, he's giving chills. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Trunapole, and as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And as always, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. And the Ice Cave is brought to you by Priority Lawn and Landscape. I've been telling you people for weeks, it's going to start warming up, and I'm in short sleeves right now, and the sun is shining. My dog is outside. The grass is going to start growing. You're going to want to get that cut. You're going to want to get your mulch, your flower beds mulched or rocked, paver patio, retaining wall, I don't know, whatever landscaping job you've been wanting to do, get Priority Lawn and Landscape. Call it 513-430-6114. Again, it's 513-430-6114. You can also follow them on Facebook. What is up to everybody in the chat? We got Stranger in there, Brad's in there, Jeremy's in there, and Tony Blazin. What's up? Yep, I watched Raw. I didn't make it to it. I know they got NXT tonight. It was awesome for all my wrestling fans. All right, guys, boys and girls. We had Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor do a press conference at the NFL Combine, and they sounded different to me. They sounded more confident in being able to sign Jamar, T, and Trey. They said they want to have championship football. They want to win a championship. They want to improve the team. They improve the defense. I mean, I'm not the only one saying it. This is what the people who follow the team said. Here's Olivia Ray. Whenever I'm in charge of the football team, I want T. Higgins. I'm going to do what I can to get T. Higgins. Our preference with T is to do a long-term agreement. Duke Tobin dives right into the Higgins chatter during his first question. I am optimistic until there's no reason to be. I want a long-term deal. Sounds good to me. My boy, Paul Dana Jr. Duke Tobin emphasized getting deals done early. Speaking about Chase being the highest paid wide receiver, the Love Fest recording Higgins, he says, quotes, were a great match. Wants things to be in place to build our football team. And Jeremy Fowler. Bengals with a united front here at the NFL Combine. Both Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor are clear they want to re-sign stars such as Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and hey, Trey Henderson as well. As Tobin noted, team has cap space. I love this part. I'm going to read this again. Tobin notes, team has cap space and low dead money to be aggressive in that area. For all these people who say we don't have the money, they're not going to spend it. Sounds like they want to. Couple more. My boy, Sean Goldschmidt. Duke Tobin on Higgins seems like 5 years been talking about T. You want to know how I feel? I want him on my football team. I'll do what I can to get T. The preference is a long-term deal, and they're working on to get it done. One last one here. My girl, Gaby Sortino from Fox 19, she says, Duke said, we are going to reward Jamar. He's an important part. He's the guy. Duke Tobin on getting the deal done with Chase. All that sounds like they want to get the deals done. They're working on it. everything that I've been saying, other people on my show have been saying, a lot of the Bengals have been saying that they want to get it done. Now, they got to get it done, but they're at least saying all the right things, and they sounded more confident. At least I thought so. Let's bring in my co-host for today. He is got his own show. If you guys have not checked it out yet, it's Joe's Tavern. He goes by Joe Schmo, Joe Farsing. Yeah, that guy. What's up, that guy?
I'll go by that guy. That's fine. What's happening, brother?
What's going on? How did you feel about, we talked about a little bit before the show started. How did you feel about how Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor presented this press conference?
I think there were less, usually when he's, at the combine and being asked specific questions, that there's a little bit of, I don't want to say hemming and hawing, that's not the proper words, but like everything's kind of prefaced. But this time it seemed more urgent, as in like he hears what, like he knows what Joe wants. He knows that Burrow's going to be pissed. And I think he's talking directly to Katie and Troy. I hope that they're on the same page, but it seems like he was talking to Katie and Troy. But they're the ones that are reticent. I mean, Katie's the salary cap czar, and great, there isn't any dead cap space. There's never any dead cap space because of how they structure deals. I want there to be dead cap. I want them to have to maneuver around the cap. That means they're structuring things creative instead of every year, well, there's no dead cap. There's no dead cap. Okay, well, structure things differently so you can fit more players in and be creative and figure out the puzzle. It's not a pie. It's a puzzle of getting all these players in. Eagles are going to have to reckon with how they've got all these deals structured at some point. But that's a problem for tomorrow. They just won a Super Bowl.
But the good thing is, according to Jake Lisco, they don't have to do anything differently. This is him doing it and signing the contracts and everything just the way the Bengals have always signed them. They can fit all of them under. They got so much cap room. So, yes, I agree. And Duke did say something about trying to do the contracts a little different. He did say, I couldn't find it.
Well, and also all three of those guys, we know what their hit is going to be for 2025. If T's brought back, his cap hit probably starts around where the salary tag or the franchise tag is. Jamar already has his 2025 salary set because of the 5th-year player option, and T already has that. So it's upfront money and then money in years 2, 3, 4, however long the deals go out. So yeah, it's not going to stress the 2025 cap. There's plenty of room to get these guys done.
It's more
on a 1 year.
They might have to restructure or whatever.
Yeah, but also because they've been so god awful drafting the past, we'll say decade. When was Cedric? Was that 2015?
Who? Aboye?
Cedric Aboye. Was that 2015? I think so. They've been drafting shitty since 2015. You still get no credit for drafting Joe Burrow. You were drafting at 1, and you needed a quarterback, so you get the best quarterback. But so that there's nobody to pay. So they've got the ability to make it fit.
Yeah, and I like it that, like you said, they're not saying anything about a pie or anything like that. But Michael Matt's here. I'm getting concerned about getting all 3 deals done. I'm not, from what I just heard or what I just read. I mean, are you concerned about it, Joe? I mean,
no more than before. I mean, until pen hits paper, I'm no more or less concerned about it. Jamar will get done. Like that's not a if. That's that's going to get done. I prefer him get it done sooner. Usually they wait until camp. I mean, Burrows was signed the day before. But Burrows was also done a year early, a year previous. But I'd like them all to be done before free agency starts here in 2 weeks.
And that's what Duke did talk about, getting them done early. So that was one of his preferences. So like I said, everything they said, I mean, is better than what we heard before. I'll put it that way, or what we've heard in the past. Anyway, he's sitting in the waiting room. The draft combine starts Thursday. And for all the best combine news, just draft analyst, check out Brian Bosarge and the draft countdown. What's up, Brian?
What's up, guys?
Nothing. We're just having fun here talking about the Bengals and our favorite subject here. What did Duke Tobin think? Before we get to the draft, what's your thoughts on what Duke and Zach said? Do you feel a little better about it, or?
I never doubted it for a second that they're going to get those 3, I think, extended before. I would like to say before the league year starts. That would be best for everybody.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
But I caught a little bit what you guys were saying, and the Cedric Away draft was 2015. And I'm just looking at this. The 2015 draft, they had what I would consider one hit, and that was Uzama. Out of 9 picks. 2016, they had 7 picks. William Jackson, Tyler Boyd, Nick Vigil. Those are, and Andrew, if you even want to say Andrew Billings, that's their top 4 picks, I guess, played significant that year. 2017, they had 11 picks. 2 guys hit, Mixon and Lawson. 2018, you had Bates, Hubbard. That's it out of 11 picks. 2019, you had 10 picks, where you had it. Sample's been around for a while, so I guess that's a hit. Pratt, and that's it on that scale. 2020, they had 7 picks, and that's where you get Burrow, Higgins, Wilson, Davis, Gaither, all hits.
Yeah, they killed on that one.
There, 21, you had 10 picks. You have Chase.
That's it. I don't get credit for picking a kicker. I don't give you any credit, even if Evan McPherson were Justin Tucker. I don't give you credit for drafting the kicker.
That's fair. 22, you have Taylor Britt, and Tyson Anderson is just a stud special teams guy. And Dax Hill, jury's out, right?
Hey, Brian, what year did they draft Geno Atkins and Carlos Dunlap? What year was that?
I think that was 12.
Was that 12? I think they got them in the same draft, if I remember right.
Second rounder and a 4th rounder.
2012 was Kirkpatrick, Zeitler, Mohamed Sanu, Marvin Jones, George Iloka. That was pretty good.
That was a pretty good draft.
So maybe 2013. Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to see. Let's see. Control F. Atkins. 2010 was Geno Atkins. That was Jermaine Gresham, Carlos Dunlap, and Geno Atkins draft.
They were here a year before Dalton. Wow, I thought they were the year after. Wow.
And that draft, they got Green, Dalton, Bowling.
That was a good draft too. Now,
Bowling was a guy that killed him when he had to retire because of the health issues. That was because he was a damn good player.
He was. Well, hopefully. What's your thoughts? I asked you this last time a little bit, but Brian, what's your thoughts on this past year's draft? I know it's only 1 year, but I think it's been a fairly good draft this year or last year, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I mean, so far so good, right? But it's hard. I don't want to ring anything after 1 year.
Yeah, it's only 1 year. I know. Yeah, but I mean, for first year, I think they had guys who had impacts. So that's
let's say they average 7 picks a year because that's generally what they do. What would you consider to be a good draft? Hitting on 4 out of 7?
4 out of 7 at least. Yeah, that'd be a pretty damn good draft, I think. If you hit 4 out of 7.
Yeah, if you can get 2 starters and 2 impact players, whether one, assume one's going to be a special teamer and one's going to be a sub package player, and then guys that can hang around a practice squad for depth, then that's a pretty good hit.
And that's crazy to think about, right? So what we basically just said is we consider a draft win hitting 50% of your picks.
Yeah.
And as a person who's a draft guy, and this is what I've done now for over a decade, it's well over a decade. It's like that's just doesn't seem right. Like a 50% clip is good, but I mean it is.
Well, I mean, I think that would go for. I don't think that's just a Bengals thing. I think that'd be good for most of the teams, right? Yeah, I mean, that's. Right. I mean, if you hit, I mean, it's just like a baseball player. You're hitting 300. You're still striking out more than you're hitting the ball.
Right.
So we'll see. But with that being said, the combine, like I said, starts tomorrow. Starts Thursday. Where are you guys? I know you guys just had your draft come out. Where are you at on the Bengals at 17, 49? What do you think they might be looking at?
Sorry, repeat that.
I said with the combine set up, and what do you think the Bengals will be looking at? What players will they really be keeping their eye on during the combine?
It's scary to think, and I'm hoping based off of what the thing that we're not really talking about is how they kept saying they're going for fit with Al Golden's defense, right?
Right.
So you'd like to think some of their outdated size profiles would go by the wayside a little bit too.
Right.
But if that is not the case, then you almost have to look at measurements first, right before they ever clock the first 40.
Right. And well, they do the measurements. You said they do that the first night, right?
They do that. So like, I have it down here somewhere, but so whatever group is up on Thursday, they'll measure them in the morning, and then they'll I think they'll start doing actual like media interviews and stuff on Wednesday, whatever the first group is. Then they'll do their weigh-ins and stuff that morning, and then they'll do the field drills and the time drills that night, and then they'll do the bench press the next morning. Which that's becoming very few and far between who actually does the bench press now.
Why do they not do it there? Because they can do it on the pro day.
Yes.
More comfortable in their own weight room and all that stuff. I get that. Joe, you got something?
Just a quick question. Where do you think the draft is strongest this year? I mean, the Bengals need a lot of help on the defensive line, and this seems to be a deep draft for edge and tackle. Am I wrong in that? Is that probably where it's deepest?
No, you're absolutely right. And this is the rare. I don't want to say it's rare for the Bengals' needs, but I think we can all say that the Bengals' biggest needs are the interior defensive line, interior offensive line, tight end, right? I mean, you're going to need one of those guys. And those three places are all deep, I think, where the Bengals will try to attack that position. I would love for them to have like an extra pick or so up top, but, it is what it is. I think they're going to end up moving back at some point in some round to pick up that extra 7th round pick back. Maybe they get that if they move Jermaine Pratt. Maybe they can get a 7th.
I think
back or something, but I think that the interior defensive line is probably, I think most mocks you're going to see between now and, unless they do something crazy in free agency we're not expecting, I think that's where you're going to see a lot of mocks have the Bengals go. I wouldn't rule out a tight end in the first round. I wouldn't rule out a safety or a corner, depending on who may be there for them. Mm-hmm. And now, I mean, you heard him talk about that. Al Golden's going to run a base 4-3. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're getting an off-ball linebacker who can double down as a pass rusher. Looking at someone like Jalen Walker from Georgia would fit that role, as well as a couple of other guys. Jahai Campbell from Alabama is another that would fit that role as well. So, and maybe that's a position they're looking. It's a new position, right, for them.
The Viper
and their defense.
Is that the Viper position?
Sure.
Whatever they call it there. Now, this is the name that everybody keeps putting out there. Walter Nolan. Now, if I'm correct, he's like you just said, they might have to change their measurables. He's a little shorter than they normally like their ends, right? Am I correct on that?
Let me pull it up here.
He's a tackle. His size, his height, and weight are similar to Geno Atkins.
Yeah, he's 6'3", 293. Okay. That's what he measured at the Senior Bowl. 33-inch arms. So he's the size is there. It's fine for what they need, and he can attack. And he's going to fit what they're going to look for in the position. Like you said, an attacking interior defensive lineman to get pressure on the quarterback up the middle. Where was the production at before he got to Ole Miss? That bothers me a little bit. He's a former 5-star guy. You hear some laziness type stuff come out about him from his time at Texas A&M. Like I said, but he was one of the top high school recruits coming out of into it. But he produced this year and was good at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, I was impressed with him there. And everybody always brings up Green for Marshall. I don't think he'll be there. I would love him to be there. I doubt he'll be there at 17. What's your thoughts?
It's beginning to look not that way.
Yeah.
His weigh-in at the Senior Bowl helped him a lot when he weighed in at 250 plus. That was going to be his big knock, but he's just over 6'3", 251. Maybe shorter arms than you would like at 32 inches. So that's going to, like I said, you get into that measurement debate, but man, that dude can bend, and that's something the Bengals defensive ends have lacked for a long time outside of Trey.
Yeah, and him pancaking that dude in the drills. That dude, that I saw that. I'm like, I'm sold. I don't consider myself any draft expert, but hey, you can let level do like that.
And for the record, that guy is you'll see mocked in the first round. The guy he flattened, Josh Connerly Jr. from Oregon, is a guy I've seen mocked in the first round. I think he's probably more of a second round pick, but still, I mean, you're talking about a guy that's going to be an NFL starter, and he just flat run over him.
Right, exactly. All right, so where else is the draft at as far as the combine this year? Where do you think we're going to be surprised? Is anybody going to go out there and shock us, you think?
I don't know if I can really be shocked about anything anymore after watch this for so long.
Right. We're not breaking the 40-yard dash this year.
I don't think so, but I mean, I wasn't expecting it to get broken last year.
And he flew, dude.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm going to say no that anybody's going to go 4-2 flat this year because that's what it would take now to break Worthy's record. But I said I'm not expecting. I think the shocking thing we might see is how many people opt to not run.
Well, I think it's getting more and more like that because they're more getting on the pro day, especially the bigger stars. Because like we just said with the bench press and all that stuff, it's more comfortable for them, I think, and doing their best work at their own facility.
It's something that the NFL, and I don't know if they want to do it, but I think they may end up having to do it at some point. Is they may end up having to push the draft back like maybe 3 weeks or so because the college season's running so long now, and the NFL is going to expand their season again. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen, which is going to push the Super Bowl to President's Day weekend when that does happen.
That's actually the smartest thing that they're going to do outside of moving the game to a Saturday. You move it back a week, and then you have the day off anyway because it's a national holiday. So
yeah, well, most people.
Right.
I think our president might be changing that anyway, making sure everybody has it off. But we'll see.
Yeah,
but we'll see about that. But no, and I think, and with that happens, that means the Senior Bowl will get pushed back an additional 2 weeks, which is because that killed them this year. Because every single Ohio State, there were 6 Ohio State players that accepted invites to the Senior Bowl backed out. And most of the Notre Dame players, they actually came, the ones that were invited, but like 2 backed out as well because the national title game was literally a week before the Senior Bowl.
That's a quick
turnaround. So those guys, had played 16-game seasons, and you would have asked them to come down here and practice for a week. So if the NFL pushes its season back, that pushes the Senior Bowl back 2 more weeks. That'll push. At that point, then you almost have to push the combine back right into May, which means you would have to push the start of the league year back,
right?
2 more weeks, and then, like I said, you push the draft back 2 to 3 weeks as well. Which that first year will be bad for us because that means that's 3 more weeks that we'll have to cover the draft.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that for the NFL, that would get them cutting in more and more to Major League Baseball, which I think that, hey, NFL, like I said, the NFL could do almost anything and people will watch it. I mean, their numbers for the combine are ridiculous, and all you're doing is watching guys run around in underwear.
Maybe Major League Baseball should do something more to entice their fans to watch baseball games.
Might help a little bit. Might help. M here says, Brian, South Carolina should have made the college playoffs.
You goddamn right they should have. Shitty ass SEC refs in the LSU game kept South Carolina out of the college football playoff.
And he is not bitter about it at all.
Not a bit. not even a little bit.
All right, Joe, what do you got, man?
All I know is my team has made a college football playoff, so.
We made it once. We're good.
Yep. As a 14 playoff, Bearcats.
Yeah.
So I can hang my hat on that. I'm just first off, what national guys do you give most weight to? I'm not going to have you bash, some of the national guys like Brugler or McShay, but is there anyone that you look at their board and it kind of fits similarly, or at least you know where they're thinking more than anyone else? I know a lot of people put a lot of faith in Dane Brugler.
So, and I would lean to Dane Brugler because I think Dane Brugler is more of what I would consider myself, but not near on his level, right? Because I don't have this isn't my job. Like,
Sure.
This isn't my 9 to 5, if you will.
Right.
So I don't have near the time to pour into it that Dane Brugler and these other guys, the
I
Tom
don't know how
McShays
you
of the
have
world.
time to do it now.
I don't. So, but no. So Dane Brugler is a guy that I trust with his analysis because, like I said, I feel like he's the one grinding the tape. Emery Hunt. I don't know if you guys follow his at F Ball game plan. That guy is the grinder of all grinders. That man is at every single Podunk All-Star game there is, watching guys. He covers the CFL. He covers European Football League stuff. It's crazy. This guy's a true grinder of everything. I love Emery, and I love what he does. Jeff Risden, who writes for USA Today, he's a guy he's a good friend of mine. I trust him. As far as the TV guys, like I said, their boards and stuff, you see they're basically on what they're hearing, not necessarily as much as, I think Daniel Jeremiah is the best mix of the two from NFL Network, where I think he actually does grind the film, but his board ends up being a reflection of what he's hearing paired with it. Like the Mel Kipers of the world. I love Mel. And this, I'm not doing this right now. Nobody is covering the NFL draft right now if it's not for Mel Kiper. Yep. But he's a TV star now. Oh, he's not a draft analyst anymore as far as that goes.
He's just a legend now. Mel Kiper, that's all he is. But
he's a personality over anything else.
That's the word I was looking for there, personality. but I love Mel.
So and backing off that, because I've got Dane Brugler's board looking at it right now. Interior offensive line Bengals are at a need of. Tyler Booker's the only guy he has listed in their top 50. He's got him at 18. I've seen him in some big boards and some national mock drafts. And again, most mock drafts, I don't put a lot of credence in until after free agency plays out, because then what teams are what needs are more pressing. But he's got Booker at 18. Is that one where if the Bengals don't get him in the first round, he might not be there in the second round? Or what are your thoughts on Booker compared to where the Bengals need and where he'll be? He
won't fall to 49 or wherever it is they're picking in the second round.
Yeah, it's 49 second round. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I haven't looked at his most recent board, so I'm wondering how many of the guys that he has at offensive tackle may project inside. Because there's or could project inside for the Bengals. Guys like Jonas Savaiinaea from Arizona, Marcus Imbo from Purdue.
Yeah, he's got them both listed as guards.
Yeah, well, interesting. And Armand Mimbu from Missouri is another that I think could kick inside.
Are those the guys that we could potentially get at 49, you're saying?
No, Mimbu's an 8 on his big board.
Okay. Yeah, Mimbu's not going to be there. Okay. But the other two could be there at 49 for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's got how do you say his name? Savaiinaea,
something like that.
Yeah, he's got him at 52, so that follows right. Again, his big board versus team's needs and everything, but that could be a nice fit if they address it with a nice
and
early free agent too.
He played both down here at the Senior Bowl, but you could clearly see he was more comfortable inside than what he was when he was outside. Although I think he did play a fair share of tackle at Arizona. I think everybody thought that he would, and he's 6'3", 339, but he's got the arm length to play outside. But I don't think that's his best game.
Yeah. Now this all goes to. It's hard to. I would say it's hard to pick what they're going to do because we still got to go through free agency, see what they sign. Now you did mention two spots that people don't talk about as much: safety and tight end. And I do think they have to address the tight end for sure. Because we saw how they like to run the two tight end set. And right now we got Drew Sample and McLaughlin, and that's about it. Oh, I think Tanner Hudson, I don't think he's signed. Is he? I don't think so. I think he's – I don't remember. Anyway, we need another tight end. Yeah, we need another tight end. Another one is safety. Now, I'm kind of curious about this. And I think James Rapien actually one that brought this up on possibly trading Stone because he's another trade candidate maybe because he doesn't really fit what Al Golden wants to do. They could trade him for another, 6th or 7th round pick. But what's your thoughts on Tyson Anderson possibly putting in him and competing for the starting job if you're able to draft another safety, have him compete for that starting job at safety there. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
My initial thought would be he's been there for 3 seasons now, and they haven't gave him a serious look at safety yet.
He's also been injured too. That's been one of the problems.
And so that's the other issue there. So at this point, I'm not sure that they consider him a serious anything more than we need you in a pinch backup, but you're a core special teams guy.
Yeah.
For Tyson Anderson. So I don't evaluate him as more than depth.
All right. So how about this? So just say they do move on from Stone, which I'm not saying they are or not. I have no idea. In this draft, what's the deepest they could go to get somebody who could potentially be a starter as far as the rounds go? You think that may or may not, that might be there? You're talking later 3rd round.
I would think if they're going to get a potential starter at safety, it's going to have to be early.
Okay.
And I would say the guy that everybody's going to circle for them is Xavier Watts from Notre Dame.
Oh yeah.
But I would love, and if you're telling me the Bengals are going to take a safety at 17, it sounds crazy, but I want my homer guy. I want Nick Emanwari from South Carolina, and you're going to see it after the combine. He's going to blow it up. Like he's going to go low 4.4s at 6'3", 220 at the safety position. He can play safety. He can play strong safety. He can play free safety. He's highly productive. He was the South Carolina's leading tackler. He was their leader in solo tackles. He was their leading interceptor.
We need a good tackler too.
Yeah.
He can play in the box.
There you go.
He can play nickel. He did it all at South Carolina. And like I said, he's going to test like an absolute freak this weekend. Do I think they would take him at 17? Probably not. But I don't think he's going to be on the board at 49.
I think Houday Nation would lose their ever-loving mind if they took a safety at 17 because everybody wants.
And if they did, it might end up being Malachi Starks out of Georgia. I think he's the guy that everybody has the top safety. I have Emanwari as the top safety just because I think because of his versatility and his athleticism. But that's it. Like I said, I think Xavier Watts is the guy that you might see. He might be the most mocked player to them at 49.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, like I said, even if they sign an edge free agent, I just can't see them not drafting an interior defense line or an edge at 17. Yeah. I would just be blown away if they don't.
I'm with you, but I'm not ruling out tight end either. Just because I can't.
For some reason, if the kid from Penn State drops there, I might, which he's not going to. I might run.
Abdul Carter? No.
No. The tight end.
Tyler Warren.
Oh, Tyler Warren.
No, not Abdul Carter.
Another safety that could intrigue them at 49 and maybe with the 3rd round pick is Andrew Macabo from Texas.
Yeah.
Transferred over from Clemson. He's another rangy guy there.
Now, did you guys just put a draft out for the Bengals? Did I read that right somewhere?
I did a few weeks ago, but I don't remember. I don't even remember when it was now. So,
well, never mind. I won't ask you then.
It's been out there a few weeks.
So do you do that a lot where you put them out for the Bengals just for your own side?
I basically do it for my own entertainment.
Right.
At this point, Brad Menendez, our other guy, another writer for us, he does them for every other team, but I won't let him do them for the Bengals. So
there you go. So with the news coming out about Zach Moss, and they're still not sure about his neck, and it's looking probably they'll give injury settlement or something. The Bengals are going to have to adjust the running back position either in this draft or signing one. And the guy I love is Scadaboo. I freaking love that dude. That's my man crush. I don't think they're going to get him. Because I don't think they're going to draft one that early where he's going to be there. I mean, I'm thinking if they draft a running back, it's probably at the earliest 3rd, maybe 4th round. Maybe. I mean, I'm probably more 4th or 5th. They might more like where they draft. What's your thoughts on the running backs and who would fit the Bengals?
Yeah, I think 4th round's probably where you would do that. if they're going to do it. And to me, if you're going to do it, I think you need to get somebody that's almost completely opposite of what Chase Brown is.
Right.
So if I'm looking at guys I think are going to be on the board, let's just say in the first round, the fourth round, because I would lose my shit if they drafted a running back at 17. I don't care if it's Ashton Genty or Marion Hampton or who. I don't care.
I lose my shit anytime someone when someone gets drafted in the first round. Like I know like Bijan Robinson was an amazing prospect, but man, that's a lot of draft capital given up for a position that has such a short life and can depending on the team fit, you're not getting your value out of it anyway.
Unless you get Saquon, like the Eagles did that was a hit, but they didn't draft him. Anyway, go ahead.
But running backs, I think to look at in the fourth round, kind of beyond that I think would be the opposite of what Brown or Damian Martinez from Miami, who's a 5'11", 215. I'm sorry, 5'11", 226, measuring in Senior Bowl. Ollie Gordon, who was super productive in 2023 out of Oklahoma State, but kind of fell off this year. I think he's I got a target day 3. Maybe even later than that, Taj Brooks, Texas Tech, is another brick shithouse type of guy, 5'9", but 230.
Yep. Stranger was just putting that down there. He said Taj Brooks in the 5th.
Yep.
That's what he liked.
So Rocket Sanders, South Carolina, has had a lot of injury issues throughout his career, but he can pass block, he can catch, and he can run. But injuries are going to push him down.
So there are people there that could be the opposite of what. Either way, if you got to be a Bengals running back, obviously you got to run, but you got to be able to catch the ball and you got to be able to pass block. That's what that you have to, because like I just Stranger said, if we get somebody who can't pass block, then they're never
getting on the field.
Yeah, we did the same thing with Mixon. Mixon had a hard time pass blocking, and he's out there. You probably know we're running the ball. So we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, there are so many ways that this draft can go this year because the Bengals need so much. And I'll say, we zeroed in. Obviously, I keep saying this when the free agency starts. So I said, on the board for me, like I said, defensive line for sure, offensive line, guards, safeties on the board, tight ends on the board. Corner. Where do you put cornerback on this? Because a lot of people come at me and say cornerbacks, and I'm like, yeah, cornerbacks are good. I like our cornerback. I would love to have a number 1 cornerback, but if we could get consistent pressure on them, we might not have. I think our cornerback's better. We might not have to draft one. What do you think? What cornerbacks for you on your list for the Bengals?
I'm torn here because if you're going to get one that's going to make instant impact, that has to be like in the first round, right? So you're looking at guys that are on 17. My problem is I don't think it's going to match up with what I think they're going to want to do outside of Travis Hunter, who's not going to be there at 17.
Yeah, right.
After that, you start looking at guys who are coming off injuries, and that's been a problem for the Bengals. They've drafted guys who, even if it's stuff where they'll be ready by training camp, it ends up coming back to bite them in the ass. Eric All last year looked great, and look, he's torn his ACL again. Billy Price, I just brought that memory back up on everybody, but
Brian,
it's and it constantly has a way of getting back to them. But guys that would fit that bill, Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame, maybe he's available at 17. Siobhan Revelle from East Carolina is a friggin' stud, and he's going to be ready by training camp per a letter that his doctor sent out to everybody at the combine. But he tore his ACL on 9/24. Then you got Morrison hurt his hip, and he was out for the season. These are all things that worry me about drafting a corner in the first round, but I think they're both going to be first-round corners.
I'd like to stay away from injury guys if we can at all.
Yeah, Will Johnson from Michigan's not going to fall to 17 either, and he would be another guy that would be there.
So the more likely is probably can you see them going the whole draft without drafting a cornerback, which is personally what I think is going to happen. I always have a shock, but I can see them not drafting one.
If they only have 6 picks, it's a much more real chance that they pass on corner. in this class. The only thing that I would say against that would be is if you're drafting, especially day 3 corners, you're obviously going to want to have that guy play special teams too. So you see that coming up. That might be where if they do an outside free agent, that might be a place that they're trying to go.
I think there's more of a chance that happens than them drafting one, to be honest.
I think so too.
Yeah. Good, Jeff.
I think they'd probably look for someone who's like a Mike Hilton sized guy, and I know that's kind of, I think it was Deshaun Anthony. I think was similar size. Maybe they're gonna try him at as the slot blitzer more than anything else because Mike Hilton isn't much in coverage.
A lot of nickels in this class.
Yeah. But yeah, I can see the Bengals drafting one in 17 or skipping the entire position because the Bengals historically like drafting cornerbacks high. And that means they'd probably be overdrafting somebody or, drafting somebody who's injured, but, or coming off an injury, I should say. But I could see the possibility of just completely skipping it because they only have the 6 picks. I really wish that they'd find a way, package Jermaine Pratt and 49 to move back in the second round and pick up another pick. Pick up a third. I don't know if you get a third rounder for that. I don't know.
Of all the stuff that the Bengals never do, that I wish they would do, doing pick swap trades is something they really have got to get on board with because that is what every good team's doing now. All right, we're going to trade for this player who has 1 year left on his deal because we need him to come in a position of contend. We're going to swap our 6th round pick. We're going to give you our 5th, and we're going to get a 6th back. Right. The Bengals have got to start doing that.
Or draft or swap future picks. They almost never swap future picks. It's always in that same draft, move back and then pick up a 6th or something like that. Trade a 5th rounder next year. What do you need a 5th rounder in 2026 draft for?
They also have like Chop said in the chat here. James Rapine just did a thing about potential guys they could trade. We know Pratt's one of them. I mentioned Geno Stone. He said that too, and he also said CTB. These are all guys that potentially, he's not saying they're going to or not, but these guys they could potentially trade, which they could trade them and get do a pick swap that way with one or multiple of those guys. Because I don't know if those guys, I think if Cam Taylor comes back and plays like we think he will, I think he'll be fine. But I don't know if Geno Stone and Pratt already said he wants out. So I don't know if those two actually fit in what Algon's defense is going to be. So to me, those are guys that you could trade, especially Stone. I think there's going to be people that be interested in him if they get him in the right, because you get him in the right system. You see what he did in Baltimore. I don't know. What you guys' thoughts?
No, I was just looking at the unrestricted free agency group of corners this year, and I'm not enamored. So I don't know. I necessarily think that's where we're going to get a starter out of that or not.
Well, maybe not.
I would be cool keeping the. I'd be cool keeping the cornerbacks that they have right now. I don't see them trading Geno Stone. I mean, they're not going to trade anyway because that's just not what they do. Maybe they trade Pratt because he's not very good. He misses a ton of tackles and runs like he runs like he's carrying 3 bags of concrete.
Yeah, they're going to trade Pratt or they're going to cut him because they want to pay him less money.
Yeah, I just don't see.
I don't see Pratt in the Bengal stripes next year. I just don't.
Most likely. So I don't know. There's such a difference between things that I want them to do and things that I would do and what they actually do, because they're never going to operate like a modern front office. If they're operating like a modern front office, the other 31 teams have already advanced. So
I would like them to see them, as far as the players on their team, extend Davis Gaither.
I would like to. I bring him back because if you're already out Pratt. That linebacking room is pretty
it's thin quick.
Yeah. So I would definitely bring him back for sure because I think he's played good. I wouldn't have him as a starter per se, but I would definitely keep him for a guy to come off the bench for sure. Now, one thing here, I want to ask you a question on this. M here says we're taking Walter Nolan in the first round. Worst kept secret. I mean, now it's a draft. He may or may not be there. Dude, 2 years ago, I thought for sure we were drafting a tight end. I thought that was the worst kept secret. And we went the whole freaking draft and draft 8 single tight end. I mean, do you think they're lockstead it's going to be Nolan at 17, Brian?
Well, as 8 weeks until the draft.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Walter Nolan may not even be on the board at 17, and we know they're not going to trade up.
Right.
So that maybe, but Frank Ragnow was going to be the pick too. Remember that?
That was.
And then we ended up with Billy Price.
Yeah. I would rather had Ragnow.
Well, yeah, Ragnar went one pick before them to Detroit, and then they could have gotten James Daniel instead. They went Billy Price.
Then they could have signed James Daniel in free agency and didn't do that either.
And they can again, and they can try to re-sign Kevin or bring Kevin Zeitler back. See, if they brought those two back, and then draft someone on day 2, I would be happy for the interior of the offensive line. I don't see them bringing back I guess James Daniel is he still on the good side of 30, isn't he, or close to it?
Hold on,
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Who are you asking about? Sorry, I was reading.
James Daniel.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
James, he is. Oh God, he's only 27. He'll be 28, like right after the season starts.
Yep.
Yeah, let's bring him in and throw him.
Was he injured last year? Because it says he only played 18.4% of his snaps, so he must have been hurt most of last season, or Pittsburgh just moved on. I don't know.
I mean, they don't do offense really well there, so there could be a multitude of reasons what happened to him.
And one thing I will say that Duke did say today that I didn't exactly like when he was talking about how great our offense was, which our offense, throwing the ball was great, running the ball was better. We all think they got to upgrade at guard. I don't know if he is on that same wavelength that they have to, which is kind of scary to me. That's the only thing I really didn't like what he said. He said they will if they can, but he didn't sound like it was a optimal thing to do. And like he said, he also said, I'm not going to come out here and tell you who we're going to trade or what we're going to exactly do, which I get that. He's not going to, TikTok is not going to give us much of anything. So maybe that was a smoke screen. I don't know, but that one kind of worried me a little bit. Well,
there's only 3 places they're going to upgrade on the offensive line, and that's all the 3 interior positions, left guard, center, and right guard, because you're paying Orlando Brown Jr. $1 gazillion, and you just drafted Amarius Mims last year.
Yeah. And they got who's the center that drafted last year? Why can't I never remember his name?
Matt Lee.
I mean, what's your thought? What's your thoughts on him as far as potentially being the Ted Karras replacement, because he is a center only. I mean, they play a little lineman.
I had Matt Lee as a 4th round grade last year, so I was very happy when they drafted him in 7th round. But like I said, until one of those late round draft picks comes in and plays like immediately, I just think of them as depth guys.
Right.
If you're not drafted in the first round or the first 3 rounds, I don't necessarily think the team views you as a starter until you make them have to view you as your starter. Right. And until we see Matt Lee beat out Ted Karras in camp, we're not going to see that. Now, we've got a new offensive line coach in this year now, so maybe, hopefully clean slate, fresh start. We'll see them reevaluate everybody.
Right.
But like I said, they're not going to be able to do that at the tackle positions just because of the capital they have invested.
They don't need to either. I mean, which I still want them to get depth guys there, like sign. Like I bring Cody Ford back as a depth piece. I'd like to get more depth. You really?
I think you can do better with any street free agent.
Well, I was impressed with the way he played last year.
Anybody can give you anything. Any draft pick should be able to give you what Cody Ford's given you the last year.
Yeah.
Or any veteran free agent that you may bring in on a 1-year deal, I think gives you just as much as what Cody Ford gives you right now.
Well, hopefully if they bring him back, hopefully they'll upgrade him back, because they need, either way, they needed more depth in that offensive line. We're talking about that at the beginning of last year. I wanted them to have more depth in that offensive line, just because, you got Orlando Brown, who never got injured until he was with the Bengals. You got Amarius Mims, who's a beast, but he has been injury prone. And then you got the interior line, who has been that great. So you still need depth there. I want to improve that either way going into this next season.
Yeah, I mean they've got to improve at some point with either draft picks or veteran free agents. The interior.
Exactly. Yeah, I like, again, and I've said this before. I would be cool if their interior, at least their guard and their depth guard I'm okay with them keeping Volson for year 4 of his rookie deal. He's started 3 seasons. He's not good. He's miserable. Like, he's just an absolute turnstile when you run a stunt. But you start, like, he knows what he's like. He knows the offense. He knows his responsibilities, and he's not making a ton of money. But sign two veterans and draft someone again. Draft someone day 2 pick.
I mean, honestly,
and you should be able to roll with that.
Yeah, because I would prefer them to sign 2. If you're going to go the free agency route, sign 2 guards, because I think you can find guys in the draft for the defensive line, because it's like you said, it's pretty deep there. So that's the way I hope they go with it, because you can get guards, but there's so much depth in this defensive line. If you go first 3 rounds defensive line and you get impact guys in all 3 of them, if they draft right, I mean, you could fix the defensive line like that.
Yeah, it'd have been super nice if Trey Brown would have got one of those open GM jobs, so we'd have that extra 3rd round pick.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
I do think they're going to trade back and get one somewhere. That's a Bengals move. They'll trade back and get somewhere.
And I'm glad you said that, because we keep saying 17, 17, 17. I don't necessarily think they're going to pick at 17.
I wouldn't be surprised,
because if you hear a lot of the national guys talk, and you hear them say a lot of NFL teams only have 16 to 17 first-round grades on players. There's 32 picks in the first round. So that's going to put 15 to 16 guys getting drafted in the first round that teams have second-round grades on. So if one of those teams still has a first-round grade on a player at 17 that's picking in the mid-20s, the Bengals are in an envious position to get maybe a 3rd round pick to move down 8 spots in the first round, or pick up an extra 4th round, extra 3rd, maybe a 4th or 5th.
Is your dog choking in the background there, Joe?
Yeah, I don't know. He's laying on the floor, and I don't know what he's hacking up. He probably ate something.
Brian was giving a great comment there, and I just keep hearing this.
I was too busy making sure he wasn't dying to hit the mute button. I should have done that. Sorry.
There it goes again. That's what happens here. We have a live podcast, Brian. All right, man. As always, I appreciate you. Been on for 52 minutes. Brian, go ahead and plug some stuff before I let you get out of here. And thanks for jumping on short notice. I appreciate it a lot.
Hey, man, anytime, guys. Head over to draftcountdown.com and follow everything we put out. We have a new mock draft dropping tomorrow, and we drop a new mock every week on Wednesdays, because everybody does it on Mondays, so we certainly moved to Wednesdays to avoid the competition. We zigged instead of zagged, and you can follow it on X at Draft Countdown, or Blue Sky if you're over there at Draft Countdown as well over there.
Yeah, I have not got on Blue Sky yet. I'm on 27 other social media stuff. I might as well start that one. Anyway, Brian, appreciate you, man, and we still got more draft. I'll reach out to you and get you back on again.
I'll be here.
All right, brother. See ya. It's a tongue jokes again.
Do what?
I clicked him out. The dog choked again.
Yeah, I just.
Gus, you okay down there, buddy?
Is Gus okay? Is Gus gonna make it?
He's all right. He eats real. I think he was fed, and Jesus H Christ. Come here.
Get your ass over here.
God.
Oh goodness. What did you feed?
I'm just not gonna talk. I'm just gonna.
I can't. Every time I get ready to talk, the dog chokes again.
Okay, I'm gonna mute so you talk so I can mute myself.
Go ahead. Everybody say a prayer for Gus. Let's make sure he's okay. I do want to talk a little Reds and some Bearcats, because we got the Bearcats big game tonight. I don't know if they can play like they did this past Saturday. They got a shot at winning this tonight. What's your?
Yeah, but TCU isn't very good. I mean, their record's okay, but they're not very good.
I agree, but a win is a win is a win. Confidence helps.
And for sure.
It being again another home game, I think. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I was really excited about the beginning of the season, and it's kind of, middle of the season sucked. Now it's kind of their treading water, but they look better. I mean, I liked what Day-Day's been doing and Jizzle. I just wish Day-Day and Jizzle, they're really good at creating their own shots. I wish they could create shots for other people. That would be nice. That's what
they're not the greatest facilitators.
No. Good.
And Baylor, and I forget one of their players they might be missing. He was sick, missed last game, and he's a game time decision. I can't remember who it is for them, but I think the key is really Dan Skillings.
He played better.
He has, when he's played like shit, the team can't win, and it's really frustrating that he's towards the end of year 3, and he still makes just absolute boneheaded decisions. And I don't buy it anymore, but earlier when he was a freshman, even a sophomore, he didn't pick up basketball until his junior year in high school.
He's playing Division I.
You're a junior in college. Yeah, you're a junior in college, and like it's a commitment. Like, and you're still making dumb shit mistakes, game after game after game. He goes as the team goes.
I will say this: when he plays defense, our defense is better. He is.
Yeah.
He could do a lot of stuff with his athletic ability when he's not doing dumb crap. And that I give you that. He's been doing too much stupid stuff. He played better, still turned the ball over too much, but I agree. I mean, we talked about this at the beginning of the year. Jizzle, I said CMOS, which he hasn't, and he's hurt now, and Skillings were the big three. Now I'll take Skillings out. You got Day-Day in there. Those guys have got to be consistent, and you got to put Davis in there as well because he's one hell of a defensive player too. Is what he plays.
Yeah, they're getting stuff from guys they weren't really counting on. Josh Reed, I mean, he was perfect from the floor the other night. 13 points, I think. 6 for 6 from the field. So I mean, he plays well, and he's a great defender. I don't know if you really want to count on him to. I know he's now just standing on the steps looking at me. Don't die, buddy. The show's almost over.
Don't die. Don't die.
I'll miss you. He's a good boy.
I just met Gus before the show started. I've heard about Gus. So
he's a good boy. Hang on.
There he is.
There's Gus.
Hi, Gus. Gus is making his TV debut. Don't die, Gus. Don't die.
I know. Lord.
All right, real quick. Touch on the Reds here yesterday. Austin Hayes, 3 home run performance. Ellie De La Cruz has gotten off to a good spring training. What's your thoughts, real quick, on the Reds here so far?
I mean, the offense is like the guys that you want to see hitting are hitting. We're 4 games into spring training, so the main thing to me is nobody get hurt. Noe Marte is playing in the minors and is behind everybody, so that's either two things: either Tito wants nothing to do with him, or he's trying to send a message: you need to bust your ass and make your way back up. Either one wouldn't surprise me because his effort and the attitude that he showed last year. I mean, I could see maybe Tito, because this is his first year, giving him a chance, but he's got to earn that chance back.
Right.
So, again, like the results on the field, whatever. Brady Singer looked good. I mean, I mean, Brady Singer struck out 3 or 4 guys. Struck out the side in the first inning the other day.
Actually, we actually had to watch the game on TV yesterday. It was on MLB Network. Yeah,
it's on tomorrow too on MLB TV.
Oh, cool. Oh, on MLB TV or MLB Network?
MLB TV.
Because it was on TV.
MLB Network, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's the MLB Network.
One of them's the internet, and you got to pay for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's MLB TV, you should be able to watch it if you.
It's bullshit that in 2025 that the Reds only have 5 games on FanDuel Sportsnet, and I think only 2 of them are with their own broadcasting crew. Which I mean, don't quit being a fucking cheapskate and put games on TV. That's how it's.
The Dodgers and Cubs have every freaking game on, right. But they also have their own networks too. So I guess.
Well, but also, I mean, how many teams out there have FanDuel Sports Network crews, and you use their feed? You don't have to bring their feed. Your all the engineers and everything. You use their feed and just have your guys that your play-by-play. Sadak is when he's not calling college basketball, he's out there, or they have guys that are out there just covering the team that can cover the game on broadcast it. So it's frustrating.
Exactly. All right, man. It's 6:30. You got another show coming out next week. I did watch the one with you and
Me and my boy Timmy.
yeah, Tim. Thanks. I want to say Tom,
Yeah.
Tim, and you had I don't know why. I'm like, I know that's his name, Tim.
Yeah.
I know you guys discussed Disney and all kinds of interesting things there. Who you got coming on your next show?
Still have a couple irons in the fire. Haven't recorded yet, so we shall see. But that should be out by the weekend. So
Well, make sure you guys, if you guys
watch
have
it,
not-
like, subscribe, and all that shit, people.
It's Joe's Tavern. Make sure if you guys got 87
Yeah,
people watching,
at Joe's Tavern Show at on X, and then YouTube.com at Joe's Tavern Show.
There you go. All right, buddy. Well, this could be an interesting off season. We'll see what happens. I'm excited, but hey, I get
Things,
excited.
yes, things are happening, good, bad, or otherwise. Things are happening.
We'll see what happens. All right, dude.
It'll be a cool 2 weeks.
Yeah, I love the combine. I'm a geek when it comes to this. I'll be flipping back. I'll watch the Bearcats. I'll be. Well, I keep saying for some dumb reason I keep thinking today's Thursday. Today's or at least Tuesday. They won't be on tonight. Yeah. I'll watch the combine. I like it. I'll talk to you later, Joe.
See you.
See ya. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Go follow Brian on Draft Countdown. Go follow Joe at Joe's Tavern. He's putting together a pretty good show there. Drops every Tuesday, I think he said. So good first two couple episodes. Like I said, again, I'm excited about what Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor said. They sounded more confident to me that it was going to happen, that they're going to sign T long term. They are never going to come out and say, 100% we're going to sign T Higgins to a long term deal until it actually happens. Duke also said on his press conference that he's not going to really give details about trades or anything like that, which he's not going to. He doesn't want to let the cat out of the bag. Again, I think things might change. They might make some trades. Pratt might be a tradable commodity. Stone might be. I think there's a better chance of Pratt or Stone getting traded than Cam Taylor-Britt. I don't think they're trading Cam Taylor-Britt. I still think they believe he can be turned into a number one corner, which I still believe that too. And our corners are we got a lot of good young corners. We have Dax Hill come back this next year, hopefully fully healthy, because he looks really good. He can play inside or outside. I really like our corner. I'm never going to say don't add to it. I'm not going to say that, but I that's one part of our defense that I'm not completely worried about, that we have to add somebody. Safety, I would like to add somebody. Defense line, obviously, I like to add some people. Linebackers, we got to add some people. So we'll see what happens. But it was just good listening to them talk about championships and winning a championship, and that's their goal. Don't always hear the Bengals come out and say that. So I like that. I hope you guys did too. We'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I've been live streaming on ZTV, YouTube, X, Twitch. Follow me on all those, along with Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Also, shout out to my proud sponsors of the show. They go as follows: Priority Lawn and Landscaping. It is getting warm out there. Pretty soon, the grass is going to be growing. Need to get it cut. Need some flower beds cleaned out, paper patio, any kind of lawn and landscaping needs. Get Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Call it 513-430-6114. Again, 513-430-6114. You can also follow them on Facebook. And shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. Westside peeps, go check out Hail Mary's. It's your ticket to the game. It's got big ass TV screen, beer specials, food trucks, free parking. I always said in Chevy, there's not a lot of parking. They got free parking right there. When they go there, tell them I sent you. Again, it's Hail Mary's, your ticket to the game. And shout out to Meyer Windows and Doors. I got them in my house. They're easy to clean, energy efficient, great looking windows. You can check them out at www.meyercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. Now, this coming week, I'm working on a Bearcat watch party. It's going to be down at Moraine House. I got to make a call to Greg Gunner to confirm it, but we will be doing a watch party here very soon. So if you guys want to come down to Logger House and watch it, we're going to try and get some former Bearcats there. It's going to be a good time. Hopefully the Bearcats will win. Hopefully tomorrow I have more details to tell you about it. Excuse me. But we will be doing the draft party at MOT's, Mount Lookout Tavern, right there in the heart of Mount Lookout Square. That's Ted Harris's favorite bar. Come on down there. Me and Joe be there doing an hour podcast probably during the draft. And then say afterwards, we're doing some Bengals trivia. There will be some gifts there, working on all that stuff, prizes and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Come on down. MOT's to sell the place out and get you some cool MOT merchandise and beer, and let's have some fun and hopefully celebrate what the Bengals have done. And don't forget, I'll be at Reds opening day right outside Moreland Logger House. So I did it last year. It was an awesome success. We had a great time down there. So come on down again this year, and we will be rooting on the Reds, and because we still had the greatest opening day of anybody. I don't care what anybody says. Cincinnati does it better than anybody else. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I got Math Bomb, the Raz, on tomorrow. Hopefully Dale will be joining me as well. We'll be talking some more draft. And I'm dying to tell you who I got on Friday, but I want to make sure he's actually confirmed to be on Friday. But just stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the thumbs up on whatever platform you're liking or watching the show on. I said I appreciate all the views. You guys have been kicking ass lately. Keep it up there. Share it out. Tell everybody about Sports Strawberry Ice. Throw it up. Who Day for Life. That's your sports, baby. See ya!
Weekday nights, the city roars. Tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. CTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ices on the mic, energy, it's good delight. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. The CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more. Tune it in and feel the thrill. Strawberry ice, he's giving chills. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's good delight.